Okay, good morning. A little bit of a change today. Slightly different setup. You can't see it. I might put a picture on actually. But I've had a comment about the sound quality, so I'm trying something a bit different. I've got my wife's tripod. It's a bit of a shame. I always thought I was her tripod, but no, I've got her tripod that's got a separate mic on it. Yeah, she uses it for school stuff and teaching. Lessons and bits and pieces like that. I thought I'd give it a go, see if it works. It's a lot more cumbersome, which I really don't like, but yeah. Work wise, right, okay, what's going on? The swing arm cum exhaust hanger, it's dried. It's not too bad. It's not as if there's a lot on today, so I might just chuck an extra coat on the outside actually, but yeah, I'm being picky. When you look back at what it looked like before, that looks so much better. It looks a lot better. Not perfect, but it's an old bike, it's not a problem. And actually, more importantly, I did it to increase the life of this bike rather than necessarily fix anything that was broken. So that's a lot more rust proof than it was. What else did I do? Minor stuff. Yeah, one of the fairings had a big crack in it. You can still see the crack there. And another one on that side, but that's now back together. That is the JB World weld. So, and the one up the back there, a bit of build up on the back. It's still a bit tacky. That's an excellent tip from Charlie, Motorcycle Rescuer. It is brilliant stuff. I find the steel stick, i.e. the putty, the two-part putty that you mix, dries really quickly, works really well, and also I used it to make plugs for some fairings, so actually it sounds a stupid thing to say, it files down and it sands down really well as well. The JB Weld two component stuff that I've used on that dries a lot slower. It really needs a good 24 hours to cure, but that's fab. I'm in no rush for that anyway. Excuse me. The one bit I did do is I took off the exhaust, which looks scrappy as hell. I have had some product on that to try and get rid of the rust, and it's just turned it white, which is handy. But all I was going to do was scrub that down, paint it black with some high temperature paint, but you heard how much it was rattling, partly, well, mostly because there's no gasket on the end. But one thing about this is also, apart from the fact it weighs a ton, it's killing my arm doing this. I don't know much about exhaust, but I'm sure it shouldn't have spare bits rattling around in the inside. Having looked online, it did have a plate on the side. It did have a little cover effort across between the two bolts there, with the third bolt being the adjuster in the middle. They welded through. I think that's just. I'll try putting the camera down actually, because I can't wave that around with one arm because it's too blinking heavy. Right. So it's in crap condition. The edge is broken. I've tried to get the screws out. Yeah, don't know much about exhaust, but I'm sure they shouldn't do that. So I've ordered a new one. I've ordered a second-hand one that's not perfect, but damn sight better than that. Yeah, so that should be coming in, well, hopefully by next weekend, which is probably the next time I do something. So what, if anything, today? Don't want to annoy the family too much by ignoring them, so I'm definitely going to chuck another quick coat on the outside of the swing arm cum exhaust hanger. If I get time, I'm not entirely sure I will. I might have a hack at the front brake caliper, which also needs doing. Some of it I'll film, some of it I won't. It's really just to see whether or not I get anywhere with this camera setup. Cool. As mentioned, this is the missus' little camera setup, I normally just used one that's about that long and it's got bendy legs. 3 bendy legs is my one, if you like, but certainly with no microphone piece. But like I say, she got it for school teachy stuff, the extendable legs and all of that. I might see how it goes and then try and steal it off her. The one thing I can't do is use hers frequently because your hands get nasty. I hate wearing latex gloves, not very good during coronavirus times, but I hate wearing gloves when I'm working, so my hands get minging. Frankly, I'm an office jockey for most of the week, so that's fine. I quite like getting my hands dirty, but I don't think she'll appreciate big mucky handprints on that when she's trying to teach. But yeah, I'll see how much better the sound quality is, and thanks for the dude that commented on it. Constructive feedback, always welcome. There you go, just for completeness, that's my normal tripod, or my tripod. It's got the bendy legs which make it really useful for things like this, because you need your extra hand. It's just quite easy to bend around stuff and hold on, and it's not dropped my phone yet. Yeah, really useful for this. It's getting a lot of use in the house at the moment for Zoom calls and things like that, through the whole coronavirus rubbish. But I don't think I ever bought this. I think it came in it came in a kit. I've got a GoPro that I use for, well, now use on my helmet while I'm out and about, and it came in like an accessory pack for it. So it's been at the bottom of the drawer for ages till I started doing this, and it's really useful, and actually really useful for just general day-to-day. The only thing that makes me think twice is the speaker bit. So yeah, I might just get the top mount. I've taken hers in. Get the top mount with the mic, but I'll see what the sound difference is like and see whether it's worthwhile even doing. But this is a great bit of kit. Cool. Right, I'm going to do a little bit of painting now, I think. Second coat on that hanger. Right, so there we go, second coat. A lot better. Look at that. A lot better coverage, and that will give it a lot better protection, which is what it's for. It comes down to it. Now, I did like the idea of getting the brake done today, but I'm not going to bother. I did a lot yesterday and the day before. It's Bank Holiday Monday, sun's out. I think I'll just call it a day. So what's going on next week? Got the new exhaust rocking up next week. During the week I need to get that tyre changed and get that back on as well. I'm in no rush to do that, might as well wait till the exhaust's here. So yeah, next bit of filming should be wheel on, exhaust on, see how that sounds. I've got a gasket coming as well, and front brake, at which point I can then see if it actually rides. At the moment all I know is it makes noise. What I might do while bits are off as well is try and clean some of the crud off. It's actually really quite good nick, it's just dirty. But I'll give it a good clean off, see what comes off, what doesn't, because fundamentally if it don't come off, now's probably the time to stick a bit of liquor paint on it if need be. Cool, see you again next week.